super groovy here. I'm Scott Wilson, and I can make Zoom work. I heard some giggling there. Welcome to Now Family. I'll turn a light on here so you can, whenever you see my smiling face. We're working on our lighting. I'm in the process of moving, and this is a temporary studio. In a couple of weeks or a month, we're going to have multimedia, multiple cameras. A lot of stuff's happening with Mastery Systems. Thank you for joining us tonight. I see we have 20, 30 people here, and we have another 100 coming in. So as you come in. As you arrive, welcome and be here. For those of you who have your camera off, if you're stationary and present with us, let's see your beautiful face. And if you got all this crazy stuff going on, you're making dinner. Hey, you can keep that that visual. We'd like to have you present when you're here. I'll put it that way. We have a number of people here who are first timers who are just getting a first glimpse into what Mastery Systems has to offer. And we have people here who have been here like myself, Dr. Essman, several others who've been immersed in Robert Tennyson Stevens technologies for a quarter of a century, nudging half a century. And so I'm going to make a couple of statements here that are really welcoming of first timers. And so for those of you who've been here for a long time, you'll hear and feel the truth in what I'm saying. So thank you for holding that space of perfection coming forth in people who are just arriving at the power of the potential of instant manifestation through proper alignment with our heart's desires, our will, God's will for us, and God being whoever God is for you in total honor, and properly speaking words that are designed by their very nature to manifest quickly. So that's what we're all about here, is manifestation right now, your true heart's desire. And so I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. I've been immersed in Robert Tennyson Stevens Mastery Systems technology for, 1996. I had run across words that I found were limiting me. And with some of them, we all know, like the word "but." You ask someone that works for you, are you going to finish doing this project today? Because that report's important. Well, I think I will, but this, or I'll try to do that, and this is going on. So you can tell someone's less than committed. There's certain words I think we all now know. That one is unconscious. That one is other than ideally productive. And I identified a few of these words, and I began coming up with more and more. And as you claim your consciousness in conscious language, you begin to very quickly identify, oh, that word, it's doing something other than what I really would like it to do. And one conscious word begets another. And soon I had 20 or 30 words that I'd realized these words suck, man. They suck the life out of me. They prevent me from having what I desire. They're deplatforming my consciousness. They're blocking me from having my heart's desire. They're causing lack and limitation. They're producing apathy. They're pointing me in the exact opposite direction of what I desire. And I realized someone else had to do this. They had to come up with this idea. And that was back in the early days of the internet. There were these search engines, but they were pretty rudimentary. And yet I searched and I found out about this guy named Robert Tennyson Stevens. And as soon as I got on the phone with him, I started tingling like, oh, this guy really he's tuned in. Next thing you know, I'm in his class. I'm in another class. I'm teaching language of mastery is what we called it back then. He had language of mastery instructor training. And I was just teaching the basics from just being the new guy coming in and teaching these technologies, these ideas. I had people that were about to get divorced, get remarried, in my class. I had people who had serious illness suddenly become vibrant and whole just from changing a few words. And it didn't require to learn a new word. I knew all the words. It required being conscious that what I was saying was coming through in a creative way that was aligned with what was best for me and my heart's desire, and what had and the essence of me becoming more me in it. And I mean, there's 100 ways I could say it. That's how it occurred for me. And so fast forward 25 years, I have recently made a firm commitment. I'm our new CEO of our new company, and I'm excited to meet every one of you. For those who come in physical form, I'm also our chief hugging officer as well, CHO, and I'm a very good hugger. And I look forward to seeing you in person and sharing all kinds of fun. We're creating a $1 billion empire. All of this technology is made to launch people into who they are. So whatever reason you came tonight, let's up that. Let's up our game tonight and what we're going to get out of this. I am 100% certain. I know in the best part of me, it's connected with all space and time and love on this planet. The most important Zoom meeting of this day is our meeting tonight. And I'll tell you why that is. And I'm so excited with what's coming through. I'm going to give myself permission to pause for a second, and I'm going to take some deep breaths. And I would ask you to breathe in your joy. So I'm going to do that. And I'm asking you to do it with me. There's a lot of joy in each of us. Every single human being comes into this world with abilities and gifts and raw human potential. And I've learned with myself, and I've learned with people that I really love, that there's what we wish we could do, or what we would like to become, or what someday we might think about. We know we want to do that hasn't happened yet. And I'm here to tell you the reason most of our heart's desires have yet to happen in the physical form is the very words that we use to describe our current reality. And when we use a word that blocks or prevents or thwarts us from being who we are and having what we desire unconsciously, it's a self-perpetuating loop of some writer years ago said most men lead quiet lives of desperation. And there's a feeling of despair or disconnectedness in not being who you are, or not being at all. And there are words that literally decree ourselves out of being. And I'm getting way out on the perimeter. Anyway, Robert Tennyson Stevens, I got these words, and some of these, they're kind of cousins of each other. I found out he had a dozen domains of unconscious, self-sabotaging, limiting language, that each of them, the domain of lack and limitation, the domain of desire without having, the domain of apathy, apathos, apathy. So there's 12 domains, and these words exist inside of these domains. Very well distinguished, very simple to implement. And we have all kinds of resources for that. We have books, we have videos, we have trainings where the start to finish training, you can see the entire training on video on your computer. We also do immersion events. We have one coming up May 19 to 21. Some of you are already signed up. So some of you will go, oh man, yes, I do choose to have my heart's desire. I claim who I am. It's time for me to be who I am and manifest. If what's on deck for you in your life is to claim that which you're here to do. And I'm going to give you an example. One of my heart's desire has long been to sing. So I've got my recording studio set up, and on that side of my computers, I got $50,000 worth of equipment. My best friend has a matching equipment, and we're doing it. And we're doing it because we've claimed how to do it, and we're languaging consciously into existence what is required to make it happen. On the money side of things, I've made millions of dollars simply speaking consciously. I've worked in organizations where they're like, how do you manifest so fast? Well, I speak consciously. And so for those of you who are new tonight, we're going to talk a little bit about that. What I'm most excited to do is introduce you, for those of you who are here the first time interacting with my mentor. For me, he's the most enlightened human being that's still alive that I've ever known. And I've known some very high people, some very tuned in people. I was a protege of Tony Robbins and Chet Holmes. I've coached a couple thousand CEOs how to run their companies better. I've built and sold my own companies. I've sat at the lap and the foot of gurus, and I can name people that are considered world class, high level, advanced thinkers, advanced spiritual beings. And yet spirituality has to have a practicality to be useful. For me, practical spirituality means I can have my body full of grace, my mind activated, my genius alive inside of me, and a practical way to have what I choose to have happen manifest. And of all the people I've ever met, the most brilliant person to help anyone do that is in this meeting with us tonight. His name is Robert Tennyson Stevens. Sometimes we call him Bob, sometimes we call him Roberto. When he comes through with some magnificent new concept that just came out of nowhere in the conversation, we call him Swami Babananda. I call him brother. He's an embodiment of love and grace. And tonight, so who I'm talking to in you is your best you. I can talk to you on the human level who worked hard today and had a long day and you're tired. And if I'm approaching you like that, what I'm going to get is someone who worked long today and is tired. So here's what I'm saying. And here's who you are for me tonight. And I would ask us to have that space and that spiritual alignment in our team here right now tonight. All of your dreams are now potentially being made manifest. It's up to you to make a choice. And no one in conscious languaging and mastered technologies, we don't do anything to you. And there's no force, there's no coercion, there's no make you become what we think you should be. What matters is what is truly aligned in your heart for you to blossom into and become. And what gifts did you bring this world? Because I'm here to tell you, sweetheart, there's some stuff that you still have to do, and you have the potential to be more than you are right now. That's my opinion. Unless you are completely exalted, unless your money is at the top of your game, your family is perfect, your health is radiant, all your friends and family love you, and all of your dreams and all of your talents and all your gifts are all fully expressed. Unless you're that person, which is a fairly rare human being, then I'm listening to the best in you. I'm listening to all of you in your glorious magnificence tonight. And I would invite all of us to expect greatness out of our time together by first just being conscious of some very basic concepts. So I would ask Robert, and I believe Maggie's here. Robert, can you come to the fore? And Maggie, can you put Robert and I on the screen to have a conversation? Pretty please with sugar on top. And one of these.
I think no is what she's saying, right?
We're waiting
no.
on the webinar activation.
Yeah, we have to wait until we sign.
Oh, we don't do that? Okay, well then we're just gonna have a conversation, and I'm gonna put mine on speaker view. If you up in the upper right where it says view, if you put it on speaker view, whoever is talking is and no, there's now I see my face. I'm talking to me. Hi, me. You're beautiful. I love you. Okay, Robert. So talk about, first of all, Benjamin Lee Whorf and how you distinguished the concept of now and how it blew fuses and brought this all about, just as a foundation.
I will. And what I'm going to share with everybody, I'm sitting there listening and getting fired up, just like many of you may be. And so I'm like, I don't really need to talk right. I will. But I'm sitting there going, I don't really need to talk right now. And let me share why this is so important. Every person that wakes them, Scott said it, every person that goes in and wakes themselves up, I get to be with that creator self in that person. And my need to share after that is over. I just lock on and I'm blessed. So just know that's happening for me, Scott. Thank you, my brother. So let's say in 1968, in college, second year, Western Michigan University, hold on, water. I got an independent study. I'll leave it short. I studied a professor. I was in business and marketing. And I had long hair, and I was a weirdo, man. Back then, having long hair in business was weird. That's all I can say. And so people would make fun of me. They walk by, professor walk by and go, oh, what do you got there? Anyway, so professor walks by and he goes, come here. And I'm going, what, another one? But this guy had long hair. So it's like he had hair. I had hair anyway back then. So he said, hey, stop up to my office. I'd like to give you, you're different than everybody here. So I'd like to give you an independent study. I give everybody A's. So long story short, I went up to his office. And I love the Hopi at the point, Hopi Indians. We were at that point, Vietnam War. My whole world at that point in college was fighting against fighting. And now I know that's stupido. But anyway, I was like, I didn't like it. I just went, and Hopi stood for peace. The word Hopi means peace. That over 5,000 years unbroken of peace. So he went up, what would you like to write a thesis on? I said, the Hopi Indians. So he turned around and he picks up a book off his desk, the only book on a 5 foot, 60 inch by whatever it was, 36 inch, the only thing on it. He picks up a book by Benjamin Lee Whorf called Language, Thought, and Reality and hands it to me. Here, start here. Okay. So anyone who has a conscious language on page 22, I do a quote in there from Whorf, W-H-O-R-F, Benjamin Lee Whorf, who was not a linguist. He was an engineer. And basically to make nuts and bolts, which took me from 68, 78, 88, 98, 08, 40 years it took me to write my thesis, really. Only 40 years to integrate. Pretty good, pretty fast. Anyway, basically I got from Whorf is from the Hopi language, not about Hopi, language, thought, and reality. Language shapes thought, which shapes reality. What I found is this is an exact thing. If I say I can't, my subconscious says, okay. If I say you don't like me, their subconscious could say, okay. If I say I don't know, my subconscious will go, okay. Decree a thing and it shall be established unto you. So fast forward to now, we've got literally a way to wake up quickly, period. Go ahead, Scott.
So when you say wake up, let's talk about that, brother. And I'm going to give my own experience. So I did 25 years ago, I did a bunch of classes. I taught some things, and then the timing wasn't right for me, for Robert. And so what I did was go immerse myself in becoming a master of helping CEOs, helping companies become more profitable, faster, smarter, easier, partially with conscious language and also with some of the most profound business building technologies out there. And I was, again, a protege of Tony Robbins and Chet Holmes. Out of all of that experience, we finally, Robert and Rick Essman, beautiful brother, called me a couple of weeks ago. Like, it's less than, I think Thursday will be 3 weeks ago. And something clicked, and there were changes happening in my life, and some stuff was still stuck. And I realized, oh, that's right. I've been languaging, I've been speaking unconsciously again, and just reconnecting with these brothers. They said, we thought, who's going to lead this now that we got everything in place? And there's only one person that it's you. And I was called, and I am. So since then, I'll keep in the silence, miracle after miracle after miracle, complete cleansing of a desire to have tobacco. And that was after 15 years since the last time I quit tobacco, gone like that. And anyone who here smokes cigarette, if it's an addiction, to take 5 minutes with me on the phone and really be with what I'm talking about, and it's done. Same with alcohol. I've been drinking alcohol for way too long. It goes back in my family lineage to the Civil War. When I got conscious and when I got on my divine mission and languaged consciously what I choose to have happen, desire is completely removed. My family, forgiveness. There was a resentment inside of me that was blocking my family from coming alive. I truly forgave, which was, I guess, basically God, take everything that I have, everything that I am, give it to bless my family. And it says in the Bible, confess your sins and seek and ask his forgiveness, and he is worthy and just and will forgive you your sins and cleanse you of all unrighteousness. And a couple of those words are wrong. We probably have a couple of biblical scholars here. The essence of it is the Bible was already written in my heart, but it became a very real experience to be healed, to be delivered. And the foundational access is speaking consciously, and the elevation of my expanded awareness, my expansion of reality occurs through speaking consciously and consciously being present in the expansion that happens from simply using words we already know in a conscious way. So when he says wake up, I've been born every morning, sometimes multiple times in the night, since I actually unified with God in me in a glorious way and gave my commitment to being who I am to the world. Every morning, the last 2 weeks, I wake up 3-5 times in the night and I'm a little bit more me, a little bit more me. Sometimes I wake up and I'm glory, hallelujah. It's a beautiful day. I'm jumping out of bed singing, and it's all a function of me claiming my conscious joy. I give first of all, I gave myself. Some of us say, "Oh, I can't do that." What if you could? Oh, what if I could? What if I could? Oh, maybe I could. So I give myself permission to have my heart's desire. Oh, so I'm kind of claiming it. Yeah, I claim my heart's desire. I claim my heart's desire, and I begin this. There's unconscious words. I wish, I can't, shouldn't, way down on the scale. Then it's I can, I am, I will, I choose, I have, I love, I create, I enjoy, that overwrite the language patterns of can't, wish, lack, all these lower vibrational things. And it happens as an overwrite of a specific language pattern that is embedded in us since the first person talked to us. Mom says, you can't do that when you're 2 years old. A 2-year-old goes, I can't do that. And it's an operating system until you catch it. And so Robert has these technologies that we self-facilitate. My brother Tom, he may be here tonight. The other day, he was watching me self-facilitate using Robert's technology, which is super simple. It's a few questions you ask yourself. And I was saying I was mad or confused about something, frustrated, and I spoke it, and I was like, oh, there's that unconscious thing. What's my highest choice? What's my heart's desire? And I answered the question. My heart's desire is, all of a sudden I got this automatic breath. Okay, so I choose, I claim, and I'm not going to do the whole thing right now unless Bob like to facilitate. I'll be born again, because I'm born again and again every day now by consciously choosing. And it's not some airy fairy. I claim this. It's specific to these technologies are most useful when we identify an unconscious limiting belief, a sabotaging linguistic pattern that's part of our fundamental operating system that started in our early days. Like there's stuff that my mom said to me when I was 5 that ran my show in me being able to sing, and me being good at it, me being able to do it. And I identified it. And is that true? No, that's not true. What's true? What's true is I love to sing. I love singing. I love singing. My love inside of me blossoms gloriously when I allow myself to be my joy and sing when I feel it. So I can sing. I do sing. I am song. I'm God's song to humanity when I allow myself to be me and identify these limiting beliefs. So when Robert says, when you wake up a little bit, it isn't a little bit, baby. Though whatever stands between you and having your full emancipated heart's desire, there are some simple, very easy to identify little tiny blockages that I mean, if something's this big, conscious languaging and conscious creation is like Ted Williams or Babe Ruth with a baseball bat going over the center field wall into yes, you are glorious. And so a lot of there's therapists that say, I'll see you next week for 7 years while we deal with your mother issues or your father issues. That's absurd. How about 7 minutes? 7 minutes. So if you think it's hard and it's going to take a long time and be expensive and difficult to manifest who you are, bullshit. That's false, fake nonsense. The reality is all time exists right now. Benjamin Lee Whorf said, the Hopi have no word for now because everything is now. The past, the future, all in creation exists now, and it's fully present. The shortest verse in the Bible is I am. I am. So I'd invite you right now to think about something that you thought you couldn't have or thought you couldn't be, and claim it. I thought I could. We could have a facilitation here. If there's someone, let's just go direct. Is there anyone here tonight who you have this dream inside of your heart? You have this desire to have something blossom for you. And yet, for whatever reason, we'll find out if we have a simple conversation, because the sabotage words come up when you try to describe it. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, there's that. That's exactly what it is. That's what my mom said to me when I was 8, or that's what this teacher said when I said I wanted to do this. And they said, oh, you can't do that, or you're not good at whatever it is. It's different for everyone. There's a block between you and being fully self-expressed. It exists in language. It's written on your fundamental operating system. It's identifiable, and it could shift like that. And all of a sudden you can be bouncing out of the bed in the middle of the night. Oh my goodness, I'm more of me than I was when I went to sleep. What am I going to do next? I am alive. So if there's anyone here who would enjoy having a facilitation, we can do that tonight. I would say, is there anyone? I give myself permission to know what's the best use of our time here tonight. And I invite anyone who's here with us who has something to say or ask based on everything you've heard to jump in and say it or ask it and be present with us. So I just see Travis says, I would love to bounce in. So Travis Hamilton, Travis, jump in.
Hey, everybody. I'd like to, if you don't mind, Scott, if it's okay with you, to give a quick, maybe introduction of myself. And at that point, perhaps we can find out what that blockage might be, and we can have a small facilitation.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So what's up, man?
Well, of course, everybody, my name is Travis Hamilton. First off, I'm delighted to be a part of this Zoom call here with Team Mastery. Scott did invite me over here, and I want to at least let everybody know that I'm a sales and finance professional, record setting to many different companies. I'm a newly published author, new entrepreneur as well. And, I've had the privilege of working with the most diverse range of clients and companies, and helping them achieve their financial goals, whether it be strategic planning, effective execution, right? Everything by the book, everything. How can we do it by the book? But I'm always looking for new tools myself that I can put in my toolbox for not only my career success, but now I'm looking for my personal gains for myself, not for just the career, but for those around me. So I am a firm believer in the power of manifestation and how it can help us reach our full potential. And by visualizing these goals, some of which I'm hoping to take full throttle myself personally, hence this reach out for facilitation, that by taking this consistent action towards them, that maybe I can create this reality that is already there that I haven't been able to see, that will align with that deep desire and aspiration, but either way, I'm excited to be a part of this conversation.
Pause.
Yes.
So I'm going to help you. Are you ready? Do I have permission to facilitate you?
Absolutely.
That means no.
No.
No. The word absolutely means freaking no. Could be absolutely no or absolutely yes. So now we're going to. So wait, do I have permission to facilitate you?
Yes.
Now the yay is the only door open. Dr. Tammy's going right on anyway, because we played this game. So vote his victory, kids. What that means is it's really important. Anyone I work with in this setting or any setting, if it's just me and the person, I'm voting their victory. So I'm covered. So everyone, the way I do it, you do it your way, but I'm going to share mine just to make sure you got that quality anyways. Everyone say, and Travis, if you'll say it out loud because we can hear you. I am. Everyone say I am.
I am
my own.
My own
permanent victory in the light.
In the light.
And then we're going to vote anyone speaking. And right now, Travis and me. So I am Travis's permanent victory in the light. Say it.
I am Travis's permanent victory in the light.
All right. So Travis, what you just described, usually when the first facilitation I do in almost every class, the person has every limiting word pattern come out like you did in a very short period of time as a freaking genius.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to get this, our good brother Travis, who I'm meeting for the first time here. It literally is highly capable. When I met Scott, highly capable. When I met Dr. Rick, highly capable. Any of the people here. And what I'm doing is going, oh, we just shift one word. So I wrote a couple down. I'm hoping, wanting, maybe, this, that, all these words not wrong. They're not wrong. They're not wrong. They're just separators. So is it time? And in this class, my all for you coming up is really what you're talking about. What we're offering is like the universe is going to deliver us to people who are ready to do this. So Travis, is it time for you to thrive?
Yes.
Good job. Awesome. But keep voting victory. Please, 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 like be his, support him, have his back, so to speak.
Amen.
Have you ever thrived personally yet?
No.
How many can relate to that? Just so I can see. And everybody, if you're on, please go visual. Do not hide under that name. Go visual. Be worthy of your value. Go visual. All right. So how many can relate to, I've done things, I've gotten them on, but how many haven't necessarily personally thrived? This training coming up, all for you is really all for me, each person there. So first of all, Travis, do you give yourself permission to thrive personally?
Yes.
Good. And with permission, is it time to get over hoping?
Absolutely. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Notice he did it. He went from absolutely to absolutely yes. Every person I have worked with, every single one, the person that's in the greatest conflict and limitation is in contact with their victory.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
How cool is that? And we're going to add, Travis, we're using the code of language right now with you, but I'm also going to be using the code of body language. So when I'm working with somebody, let's say there's a static state, not necessarily going on for Travis, a static state of pain somewhere. Static means not moving. So I've got a whole book, my Word Made Flesh. It translates all the whole body anatomy and all the signals or symptoms in the body. It's real. It works. So what I'd like you to know is eventually, as we do this, and with Travis, vote is victory. Vote is victory. And how do you do that? Just a reminder, when I vote victory, I keep 60% of what comes through me. And by the law of the tithe, I get a tenfold return. Why haven't we been voting victory? Because the minute I vote somebody's victory, I get, bam, 10 times greater in my life in public. And I usually cry. How many love crying in public? A few, thank you, God. A few. Most people are going, oh man, I don't really like crying. I don't. I do it, but I still don't like it. I got as part of the, all right. So now, as we go, Travis, if there may be little things that you do, what I'm sharing with everyone, whether it's a static signal, body symptom, whatever. Oh, and that right there is Travis just signals it's time for me to fully feel. Yes or no, Travis?
Yes.
Good job. And the beard, like hair, is an antenna. So do y'all think I care much about what you had this thinking, knowing, and remembering? Do y'all think I care much about what you think? No, I ain't got no hair up there. Travis pretty much kind of same
I
thing.
feel you. No, I feel you.
Yeah, I feel you, brother. I feel, all right. So the jaw, the lower jaw here is always feeling, the upper jaw is thinking. So have you been tuning in with your extended antenna to the feelings of other people?
I believe it's more towards myself as of recent than other people.
I love it. But do you love feeling other people's feeling?
Oh, I do. Absolutely. Yes.
Okay, how many got that? So that, in other words, if he didn't, most likely he wouldn't even have a beard. Everybody clear on that? You might not have known it's an antenna. So in your personal life, you said a whole bunch of words, which I normally, if I work through that, I pick them one at a time. So let's just do this. Now that you're thriving personally, just say, now that I'm thriving personally.
Now that I'm thriving personally.
What's new and different for me is.
What's new and different for me is.
And then answer that.
I am not afraid.
I am not. So if you thrive, you're going to die. If he thrives, he's going to die. I am not. Is a death wish. Let's fix that. Yes or no, Travis?
Yes.
Now, all do you get? This is real. I am not afraid is dead. Thank you, David. Vote is victory, kids. Hold on. So I am what? Instead of I am not, I am what?
I am fully prepared.
What's the opposite of afraid?
Confident.
Good. I'm fully confident.
I'm fully confident in my ability.
The ability means latent potential. Not wrong.
I am fully confident that I will.
No. All right. With permission, again, forgive me. I'm a technician here, kids. This, that, these, them, they, those, it, the, and are separators. I'm fully confident that I. No more that I confidently what?
Will develop my personal.
Not
life.
will.
I am fully confident in my Personal development.
Awesome. Of what?
Manifestation and enrichment towards personal gains.
Toward? Holy crap, no way.
In personal gains.
My gain.
My gain.
Of what? Retail therapy. It's time to claim it. Miracles in the air, grab them. Now, everybody see that? He's now going to manifest his ideas in the world. Yes or no? Travis, yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
Vote his victory, kids. This is intimate. This is sacred. It takes courage to do it. How you feeling in there, Travis, in your body?
Beyond anxious. Nervous.
Say it again.
Anxious. Nervous.
Fear.
Afraid. I'm
Fear.
feared.
No,
Fear.
now afraid is a state. Now say,
Fear.
yo, fear.
Fear.
No, say, yo, you're going to talk.
Oh, I thought you said yell fear. My apologies.
No, we're doing good. This is Zoom, kids. It's much easier in person, maybe. Just say, yo, fear.
Yo, fear.
I love you.
I love you.
I touch and I stay.
I touch and I stay.
And now fear, most of us have been trying to get rid of fear. Have you been trying in the past to get rid of fear?
Yes.
Fear is an energy package. Perfect love, scripture, not religion. It says perfect love casteth out all fear. I believe it transforms it. So how big is your afraid or fear package?
Bigger than me.
How big?
Room encompassing.
Good job. What state of the union?
Tennessee.
All right. I love it. So now that's the size of your courage and faith and security and assuredness and confidence. So when love touches fear, it blossoms courage. And my courage,
My courage.
my faith,
My faith.
my trust,
My trust.
my security,
My security.
my confidence.
My confidence.
So which one? You can have them all. Which one?
All of them.
All right, pick one. I'm doing this for a reason.
Confidence.
So do you have all kinds of ideas? That the visual cortex up here, the eyebrows, which you were a little above, is how you pick up. So right side sends, left side receives. Eyebrows and antenna. Have you let the world ever experience your genius?
No.
How many can relate? That will look around. It's really important, Travis. What you're walking up through, the fear that came on for you isn't really coming on. It's being pushed up by your courage. Yes or no?
Yes.
And then look, he's just going here. I already see that. So I watched those. And did you go all the way around the back of your neck?
Yes. Yes.
All right. And have you had fear of someone's anger?
Yes.
Whose? Male or female? I don't have to.
Male.
All right.
Male.
I got it. And has the fear from the male been all about your creative potential?
No.
Okay.
No.
What's it been about?
My failures.
Well, the same thing. Yes.
Sure. Then yes.
Yes. So is it time to forgive that anger, that person?
Yes.
Okay. So I forgive person X. You don't have to name them.
I forgive you, Dad.
There you go. For what?
Never thinking I was good enough.
So now you picked your dad. Our greatest weakness should be our greatest strength. You and your dad, on some level before you got here, made this agreement. So when you come through and you stand in your great, glorious, for me, God self, you have resurrected this self-doubt. Our greatest weakness should be our greatest strength. So do you get what you're in the middle of is resurrecting? And did your mom protect you? Yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Breathe. What is Victory Kids? What he's saying is this is intimate. So how many of you, give a show of hands. How many are voting as victory? Look around, let it in. They're all, and everybody to vote victory. They can't vote him, Travis, over there. They have to vote. I invite you to this. Everyone vote Travis's victory in you as you. Give it to you and he gets it. Everybody clear on that? We good? Everybody got that? All right. So now my good brother, Travis, who we're starting to know each other in some way, but again, do you get, oh man. So I forgive who? See, left side is feminine. So did your mother protect you from your father?
Yes.
That's what he was up here for. So now how about I'm secure in my mother's love? Say it.
I'm secure in my mother's love.
Now I'm secure in my father's love.
I'm secure in my father's love.
And again, you have emotion happening, yes or no?
Yeah. It's yes, sir.
Just say, yo, feelings.
Your feelings.
I touch and I stay.
I touch and I stay.
What's happening in your body?
It just wants to move.
Just say it wants to.
It wants to.
It now say it feels.
It feels.
How long has your feeling world been in it?
15 years.
Longer.
My life.
Not yet. How long? How old are you?
34.
So it's been minimum 34 years. If you say my life, it'll be this way forever. Do you choose to have this go on forever, or is it time to resurrect it?
I do not choose to have this going forever.
Is it time to resurrect it?
It is time to resurrect it.
Just say, yes, it's time.
Yes, it's time.
But the reason I'm doing this, Travis, I'll give it to you. Honey, will you marry me? I will marry you. What's missing in that answer?
Nothing.
Yes is the answer.
Yes.
Otherwise, you stay in a trance. It's a nice. Is it a nice day? It's a nice day. What's missing? Yes or no? Yeah, yay, or nay, nay. So have you said yes to yourself fully yet?
No.
I'll wait.
Yes. Yes.
Say yes to me. Try it.
I say yes to me.
Say it again.
I say yes to me.
Breathe. Say it again.
I say yes to me.
Are you feeling and running or feeling and staying?
I'm feeling and running.
All right. Just say, I love myself even if I run.
I love myself even if I run.
Everybody really do that for you. Please, please, please. One person moves up. How many are moving up scale with him? Raise your hand if you are. Look around, Travis. Really get this. This is real, my brother. I mean, this is your first time playing with me. This is real. What you're doing right now, as honest and as intimate what you're doing, everyone here, how many are having to shed your own armoring to, yeah, this is really real. So you're resurrecting you, whatever that is for you, that's what I call it, into your full self. So just say, I love myself even if I run.
I love myself even if I run.
Got it? And so now that you love your fear and run, what happens to your fear?
It's less demanding.
Or it turns into what?
Confidence.
Whose?
Mine.
Say my confidence.
My confidence.
So in the past, you've been in it feels. Now say I feel.
I feel.
Now say it feels.
It feels.
I feel.
I feel.
It feels.
It feel.
I feel.
I feel.
It feels.
It feels.
I feel.
I feel.
It feels.
It feels.
I feel.
I feel.
It feels.
It feels.
I feel.
I feel.
What's happening in your body?
I feel more comfortable saying I feels.
Yes. Notice
I
you're
feel.
coming home.
Yes.
Good. To what?
Enrichment and
Whose?
my enrichment, my enrichment, my
How about my
successes,
richness?
my richness.
Everybody, are you hearing that word enrichment? I love Scott. Thank you, brother. I before I used to be able to watch it, but he moved over here. So it's like, yeah, me too. By the way, I'm celebrating you all. I'm pretending to be the facilitator. I'm actually having to do all this myself. You believe that?
Yes.
Got it. Everyone, I've trained trainers. I mean, Scott has already lightened me up. I was committed listening all night going, yeah, baby, yeah, in me. And right now, Travis, in my experience, and I'll ask in a minute, is in the middle of taking all his dreams and ideas that he's given to everybody else. And remember, this class, all for you, becomes all for me, which is, I'm giving it right now, a piece of it. Do you realize that like the Moody Blues, all the love you've been giving has all been meant for you? So now, Travis, do you get how valuable are you to your creator?
Very valuable. I am very valuable to my
Hey,
creator.
look at that, kids. That you got it. I am. That's called self-aware. Travis, just know when a person does the very I am very, when they come onto the I am, that means you just claimed automatically by your own energy who you am. Yes or no?
Yes.
Are you going to serve fear or faith anymore?
Only faith.
Say, I serve my faith
I serve my faith
and I forgive my fear.
and I forgive my fear.
Good job. And if you run, what do you do?
If I run, I don't
I'll try this. If I run, I love myself anyway.
If I run, I love myself anyways.
If I run, I forgive my running. I give myself, try this. I give myself 500,000 get out of jail free cards for making mistakes.
I give myself 500,000 get out of jail free cards for making mistakes.
Yeah. I have studied a whole bunch with Tibetans before they'd ask me to come in. They do the chanting. And I found a sound whenever we make it. Look at that. Look at the hand on the heart. Everybody got that? Look at this. He's starting to love himself. Vote victory. Do that in you. Is that true, Travis?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Are you letting it in or are you running?
I'm letting it in.
Good. Letting what in?
I am letting love in.
Whose?
Letting my love in.
Say it again.
I'm letting my love in.
Say it again.
I'm letting my love in.
Say it again.
I'm letting my love in that I deserve.
Yeah. Rock and roll. Say it again.
I'm letting my love in that I deserve.
Yep. Not that I deserve. I am letting my love in. I deserve.
I'm letting my love in I deserve.
Good job. Can you feel the difference? That was just separation, not wrong. So what I learned is every time we make an error, the Tibetans have a sound that transforms the illusion. Do y'all choose to learn the sound? It goes, oops. So Travis, every time you make a mistake, you just go, oops, I recommit.
Oops, I recommit.
Yep. And me love me.
Me love me.
Say it again.
Me love me.
Say it again.
Me love me.
How happy do you experience angels as true?
Yes.
How many angels are happy right now?
All of them.
Yes. Because you're coming home. Or home, you're landed, whatever. Yes.
Yes.
So then, do you have a whole bunch of ideas you haven't given to the world?
Yes.
Because of potentially what you allowed you and your dad to co-create for you.
Yes.
So the way I share with everybody, when I was phobic to speak in public, not afraid, phobic. I mean, my tongue would glue to the roof of my mouth in speech class. I shared that for maybe decades. I choose to know how long it was. And then I remember, oh my God, I was born tongue-tied. That's my story. I came to cut tongues free. Travis is now, I can do this. That's what he's saying. I can do this. Yes or no, Travis?
Yes.
Yep. And right here in the bicep, like the Native Americans are going, this is the joy center. So I enjoy doing my mission. Say it.
I enjoy doing my mission.
I ignite people with my genius.
I ignite people with my genius.
My world loves seeing my genius.
My world loves seeing my genius.
So what changes for you?
Everything.
Well, be specific, because everything's big.
My confidence
Is what?
stronger. Strong.
Stronger.
Strong.
How about impeccable?
Impeccable.
How about try this? I am God confident.
I am God confident.
Say it again.
I am God confident.
Say it again.
I am God confident. I am Him.
That's home run. Thank you. What'd you get tonight, Travis? I would say learn, but it's really remember. So what'd you remember tonight?
That I've found a way to turn fear into confidence. And by doing so, it's allowed me to love myself. I deserve with the love that I deserve.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And thank you. And this takes massive courage. Scott, go ahead.
Travis, thanks for coming tonight. Cause you just, when we apply these technologies in the presence of others applying our technologies, and someone launches a new elevated understanding, we all receive it. And some of us have had that exact same dynamic, even with our dad, especially males that are kind of alpha like you and I are. And yet it's another level to experience the emancipation and the liberation from an old unconscious pattern that was installed by someone else. What you did, I'm thanking you for doing what you did for yourself, for me as well. And I promise you, there's several other women here and a bunch of us men here who just received a form of genuine, useful going forward in our lives healing from you claiming your victory. A couple of things that are on the table for me, and I was so present with you, I didn't write this down. I am God's victory in my divine role in his immaculate plan comes to mind. Let your yays be yays and your nays be nays is scriptural. So whenever I catch myself, someone's asked me a yes no question, and I'm maybe, or I'm going blah 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 blah, and I'm called a bucket mouth. I talk twice as much as I need to get stuff communicated because I love words. If someone asks me a yes no question and I go blah blah blah, and I come back to that yes or that no, it immediately aligns me with clarifying. When it's yes or no, it splits it down the half, and if it's no, let's explore the no and be the no. If it's yes, it's just very clarifying. I give myself permission to let my yays be yays and my nays be nays, in my alignment with what I'm up to on planet Earth is there for me. And will you please come and be with us in our physical presence, May 19 to 21, brother. I just loved you when we met, however long ago it was, a couple of years ago. And I told you the dates, it's May 19 to 21. What you just did, I'll be doing in front of everybody with my heart of complete yes for my next level expansion. You'll be in a room with 70 other people taking turns doing it. And in every 50 minutes, we dance, we play music, we eat great food. Will you please come and be with me May 19 to 21 and evolve together? And it's partially I have a selfish motive too, dude, because I'm creating sales organizations here to put this technology out there. I've trained 20, 30, 50,000 salesmen. I'm the best salesman I ever met. You're good. You'll learn a lot from me in selling. And with this technology, I'm claiming you for my team. I'm set something up where you can make $500,000, $1 million a year, brother. So we're going to have some chance to talk business too. So come be with us, dude, please. May 1921. My best friend since I was 8 years old is going to be there. A dear friend, dear brother of mine from Tennessee. I've known him 25 years. He's going to be there. My oldest son, who's a beautiful, ancient warlord, historic, all-time space dimension master, is coming to be with us as well. So it's like a family reunion, and you're my family, man. So yes or yes, are you coming to play with us in the Hendersonville, North Carolina?
See you on the 19th.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Scott, I'm going to add one thing for Travis and for all of us. Everyone say fear.
Fear.
Travis, let's hear you because you just did that. Say fear.
Fear.
Now say fierce.
Fierce.
Now say shy.
Shy.
Shine.
Shine.
Now say I shine fiercely.
I shine fiercely.
Mean it. Say it again.
I shine fiercely.
How many know he's kicking ass, yes or no, and taking names? Say it again.
I shine fiercely.
How many get it? That's just bang, bang, snap, snap. Everyone here shine fiercely. That's what's up right now on the planet. Thank you, Travis.
I give all my victories to you all as well tonight. Thank you so much for having
me. Yes, sweet. So we scheduled this for an hour, and yet what is time? When we have a blessed time to be together like this, before we open it up for other facilitations, and we will, before we go, if there's anyone that's got something on deck, something big is arising, I'm going to remind you what I called forth. Your full expressed potential in our world is a blessing to our entire planet. The dreams that have been dormant in your heart since you were in second grade or in kindergarten, or what you thought you were going to do in college, or when you were a 2-year-old, whatever lights your heart fire so big and so radiantly beautiful, our whole planet is blessed. That's all that represents in a spiritual realm, in the physical realm, is who I am in you now. So when I call for your full glory to come forth, that can like trigger some stuff to come up. So in a moment, we'll invite whoever has something else to say. What I'm asking us to do right now is, especially for new people, is there anyone here who has any questions about anything you've heard tonight, or from me or Bob or anyone else who's here, or do you have any statements to make about your experience so far this evening? If you're speaking and you're muted, you'll have to unmute.
Dr.
Obviously.
Tammy, go ahead.
I want to say congratulations, Travis, to your first Bob Elevation ass kicking. I am a charter member. And I wish many more for you.
Mhm.
Same to you, man.
Mm. Mm. Beautiful. So this meeting will be complete when it is complete. Is there anyone else who has anything to say or ask or express?
Kasri raised her hand.
Oh, thanks, Dr. Rick. I just wanted to thank Travis. That was just so courageous and beautiful. And I cried the whole time. So whatever you were going through and transforming for yourself, it was transforming something within me too. And it's just so beautiful how that works. So thank you. Thank you.
Anyone
Beautiful.
else, mic yourself, and then we'll know it's you, we'll wave, and then we'll find you. Justine.
Um, thank you, Travis. You did such a wonderful job. Like I can feel it. I truly feel the heart of us as one now. I love to talk like Scott, and yet I am almost speechless, but not quite because I love to talk. I love to sing too, but I experienced a vulnerable day today, and I'm speaking and showing my courage. And I'm holding my camera the whole time, so my arm is a bit sore, and I have my glasses off. That's why you only see my eyes. But you did such an amazing job, Travis, and the whole group together. Like, man, you did it in nanoseconds, and many of us are still working on it. So many blessings to you and everyone. Thank you.
Amen.
Anyone else, mic yourself? David, you got to have something to say. Come on, David. Come on. I'm watching you dig and scratch over there. Go ahead, brother.
Yes, thank you, Travis. That was awesome. Also, 13 years ago, I did CPR on a woman, and I never got any confirmation on whether she made it or not, but I knew she got her heart back and went to the hospital. So my full-time job was a firefighter. And when yesterday we got to work, and we get a call at the same address where I did CPR on this woman 13 years ago. And when we got there, it was her husband. And we were able to get his heart rate back today. And he went to the hospital and he's still alive. It's been 24 hours, so that's kind of cool. So that's kind of what's been going on the last couple of days. But I feel called to share my experience in my business using this technology. I like to call it wisdom. 3 years ago, I had an idea and that was it. I was like, I want to be a life coach because I've had some experiences with people that were suicidal and able to shift them. So I was like, I bet I can get paid for this. And so I ran into Brian Johnson, who's one of Bob's students, and then he introduced me to Bob. And I now have a successful coaching business where I'm at a fork in the road where I have this career as a firefighter that I love, and I've got 5 years left before I can retire. But I'm getting so busy with the coaching that I'm at that fork of like, I'm really holding back on my coaching, having to come to the fire station. So thank you, Bob. And every day I get to facilitate is making the world a better place. And I just am really enjoying helping people. And the money just shows up. So that's kind of cool. So,
And how about set up an office down at the fire station when you're not running, on the things, just, set them and we're all got to go right now. We got something to go take care of.
Yeah, so we had a gentleman that was experiencing chest pain, most likely a heart attack, and Spanish speaking individual. And so I was putting an IV in his arm, I got on my phone and Google Translate and I said, "Hey Google, say I love my fear into my courage and faith." And so it pulled up on my phone and I said, "Hey man, say this out loud." And he's looking at me like, I'm like, "Yes, say it." And so he he really didn't comprehend what I was doing, but he said it out loud. And then he went off on his merry way to the hospital. I got back on the fire truck, but I know that this works every single time. So that's it's kind of cool how I get to apply this out in the emergency medicine
Yeah.
and see people shift. I mean, I got story after story after story. It's but how long do you want me to talk?
Well, mine is thank you for your service, my friend.
Yeah.
Truly.
You're welcome.
Awesome. Beautiful.
So my answer is more. When you said how long, and I don't want you to talk. I choose to hear more right now, brother. So how about a couple more examples, and think back of the most powerful examples of shifting something simply in changing words that
Yeah.
produce something seemingly miraculous. Share us a verbal miracle.
I got two of them. One was my first client. I was coaching her for free because I just wanted to sharpen my skills. Well, she wanted to quit smoking and stop biting her fingernails. And so it was very similar to Travis's facilitation. I got to the point, it was me, love me. All the language I was given was about loving herself. Well, 7 days goes by, she calls me back. She's like, "Hey, I don't want to tell you this because it's embarrassing, but I'm going to tell you anyway. I've had a problem with my butt for 10 years. And I was like, "Okay, you got my attention." So she says that she was bleeding every time she would go to the bathroom for 10 years, every single day. It was keeping her up at night. She's been to 20 different doctors. And the 20th doctor offered surgery because he said she has too much muscle in her sphincter. So she calls me up and tells me this. She's like, "Hey, look, I've been in pain every single day, haven't slept, been to 20 different doctors. And I used this language, and all I did was think about my butt while I said the words out loud. And the next day I was pain-free for the first time in 10 years. So day 4, her husband randomly asked about it. "How's your rear end doing?" And she asked him to inspect it because he's seen it before. And he said, "All the scar tissue's gone. There's no cuts or bleeding." Day 5, pain-free again. She canceled the surgery she had scheduled for the following week. Then she called me, tell me about it, and telling me about her canceling the surgery and how grateful she was. And so she's been one of my biggest supporters now. So this leads to the second miracle. I go to Meta BE and Bob reads my eyes for maybe 10 seconds. So he pulls my eyes up on the screen and he's like, "Yeah, this is confusion." And then he moves on to the next person. And I'm like, "Well, I'm confused by that comment. What does that mean?" So I get back home and I got all this momentum after being with Bob. I mean, if you're thinking about going in May, you will get so much momentum when you come home. And that's what happened to me. I had all this momentum, like, okay, I'm ready to take my business to the next level. It's time to get organized. And 3 weeks go by and I did 0. And I'm doing this with social media, my free time, just mindless scrolling. And I'm going, this is the confusion, is when my light starts to shine bright, I start to dim it down automatically. It's an old program. And I noticed this in other people so quick. Took me 44 years to notice in myself that I had some self-sabotage. And it was confusion and disorganization when I started to shine bright. And I tell my wife about it. And so I'm like, "Hey, okay, I've got some self-sabotage." Well, she gave me some tough love. She was basically like, "Suck it up, quit being a little baby and figure it out." And I was like, "Dude, like I was really wanting some love right now." And so I realized that this was a pattern in my life. My supervisor at the fire department is female, and when shit hits the fan, she's the hardest on me. And was like, man, that's the same feeling I got with my wife when I was doing my best to be vulnerable or intimate and share some feelings, and she was hard on me. So I was like, okay, this is a pattern. When's the first time this happened? It was my mom. So I went back to 6 years old, and she was tucking me into bed, pulled the covers off me. I didn't have any clothes on at 6 years old. Well, a few weeks before that, I'd been sexually abused, and I thought that was the thing to do, is run around naked, you know, like, and for a 6-year-old, that's just kind of odd. And my mom saw this and she freaks the F out. I mean, level 10, whips me, smacks me across the face, like, what the F is wrong with you? And like, just, and I remember in that moment crossing my arms and going, I'll never tell this woman another thing in my life. And I didn't know at that moment, but I had shut the door on letting people love me at 6 years old. I never let anyone else love me until about 3 months ago. And it was Victoria that coached me to get there. And so we did the process, we did the system. The emotion that I got at it was the tightness in my chest is what showed up most of my life from that moment, over and over and over, and pattern after pattern after pattern of fear. And so when I went back and loved my mom, loved that scenario, loved the whole scene, loved myself, everything changed. I changed. And Victoria coached me to get to this point. She's like, okay, now that you loved your fear and your courage, your faith, you forgive your mom, you forgive yourself. It's been 1 year. What's new and different in your mom's relationship? Well, I love grace and ease. Those are my favorite. Said, well, my relationship with my mom is grace and ease. And she says, how about I am grace and ease, receiving my divine love? Because feminine side of life is about receiving. So I wasn't receiving love. So until I said out loud, I am grace and ease, receiving my divine love. My whole body relaxed. That's how you know this stuff works. Like Travis, I could feel my body relax when you were saying the commands that were landing in you. My body would just, and that's what happened. I am grace and ease, receiving my divine love. So the next day, I get 5 phone calls for new clients. The woman who got the miracle of canceling her surgery, she calls me up. She says, hey, I've got 150 teenage girls here that I coach softball to. I want you to come down and give a speech to them about confidence. And when can you come? And how much do you want to charge? I'm like, whoo! So all I did was give the date I was available, tell them how much money it takes for me to get there or what I want to charge. And then the next day, one of the girls' dads calls me up and buys my whole family's plane tickets for the trip. So I am grace and ease, receiving my divine love. So when I became grace and ease, it just shows up. Grace and ease. And I can keep going.
Hold on, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
I want to get real specific here because
Yeah.
you are cooking with high octane now, brother. I just
Yeah.
love you, man. Can you come on May 19 to 21? I'm looking forward to some more of you. My question is, and I'm asking you to distinguish this for everyone who already knows it to a next level. And also there's new people here. I am is the shortest verse in the Bible. Whatever we say after it happens when we really are it. So talk more about I am and what you say after it and the concept of decreeing and saying it until you mean it, until you be it. Because I know you're fired up and turned on, and I know you got something to teach in that regard.
So I am that I am. In my version or my interpretation, that's God's name. So I am, you're now decreeing. That's the most powerful decree you can say. My word becomes flesh. Life and death is in the tongue. Decree a thing and it shall be established. Here's my favorite one. A man who offend not in words, the same as a perfect man. The word is a bridle for the entire body. Bob was saying that when the first Zoom meeting I got on, he was saying that. And I was like, what in the world does that mean? It took me 2 years to figure it out. And when I first started to really take a hold of that, it was A man who offend not in word, I took it literally, and I eliminated the word not from my vocabulary. So when we say, I am not going to the store, cancel, clear, I choose to go at a different time. So it was very literal for me. And then I realized that someone who is using their words perfectly is a perfect person. And the word is a bridle for the entire body. And I choose to love with all my heart. I used to hold back sharing this, but I've seen so many miracles. People just eliminating ailments. Guy walks in, my coworker meets me in the grocery store before work the other day, and he's sniffling and kind of hunched over. I'm like, oh man, you feeling bad? He said, yeah. I said, have you had some ICANS recently? He just sits up. Yes, I have. Well, how about say I can and I will, and I recommit to my thriving life. Next thing you know, he's like, dude, my nose quit running. I mean, it's that quick. And so, yeah, back to I am that I am. When you become what you desire, so you're not going to get the $5 million and then be happy. You got to be happy, and then the money comes, or whatever it is you desire. So when you're I am, and what you say after that is who you're creating, who you're being, and who you be is the most important thing. And I think law of attraction is a big deal with y'all. It's a big deal for me. So I think everything we're doing is about who you're being right now. That's the most important thing. So if I have fear, so that's been coming up today, right? So if I have fear that's active and I don't know it, I'm getting more people, circumstances, and events that create more fear versus, oh, my chest is tight. I have fear. I love my fear to my courage and faith. I give myself permission to forgive my mom. I forgive myself. I give myself permission to forgive my, oh shit.
I guess what happened is his mom just called him. So thank you, Robert, for having brother David. Is he David Daigle? That's what it says there.
David Daigle. Yep.
So he's a sweet soul. Let's get him to every event because he's
Yes.
lit.
And I'm going to sidebar. Every person becomes who they are. It's not saying it right or doing it right. Everybody turns the light on from
Mhm.
inside out versus any outside in stuff.
Yeah, and
all coaching is, my job is to not ever give an opinion to anyone. It's to stay with them and translate them to them. When it's real, they're going to feel it. We're going to know it, that kind of stuff. So period.
And one thing I'll say for folks who are new here tonight, one thing that's immaculate about Mastery Systems technology, you'll hear people talk about God or spirit, or you'll hear some form of that. The religion's sacred freedom of religion that makes America unique in the world is we just get to have our own relationship with who God is for us. And the Mastery Systems technology perfectly honors your relationship with whoever God is for you is holy and high and sacred, and is we give all support to, and I also say in return. So there's this honoring of each person's blossoming into who we are. There's no reason for me to want you to be who I think you should be. That's old, control freakage. Give me permission to be who I am, be who you are, and everybody benefits. So we're over the time now. We can continue to be here and bask in each other's presence. I know on the East Coast it's after 9 o'clock. So I'd like to say before we close, if there's anything, any new information required to have you join us, we're going to be here Tuesday night again, by the way. And so my invitation is Travis, you got some benefit out of being here tonight. Pick a brother, pick someone you love, a sister you love, and invite them to come and join us on Tuesday evening and just be with us and talk about these things again. May 19 to May 21, people that dear to my heart and people dear to our heart are coming to a special event in Henderson. Travis, you'll be there. Bring your best friend. I'm bringing my best friend. Bring your best friend, man. And what's gonna happen for us together is magnificent. And I already know you're on my team. I'm building something so good. We're building something so good to have you, plus everything that you're doing and everything that is becoming in your own life, and whoever's up to that in their personal lives. Please bring them to celebrate with us, because it really is a celebration of each of us becoming more of who we are in a way that's natural for each of us individually. And when you see someone you love blossom, it's very enriching. It just, yes, Travis is more Travis, Tom is more Tom, Jaden is more Jaden, Michael is more Michael. It's so expansive for me to see people I love expand into more truth and revealed personality, revealed divinity.
Everyone, when one person goes in our classes, everyone moves up potentially to that degree. The next person goes, we all move up again. The next person goes, we all move. And this could just be sharing or whatever. So in other words, if you can imagine going through 70 experiences similar to Travis, where are we going to be then? We start to blossom. We start to shine fiercely. So again, there's no sense serving fear. We have to beat ourselves up not to be our full potential. So, and it's, by the way, it's in Hendersonville, not Henderson. Go ahead, Elman.
I have a question concerning logistics in going there and that sort of thing. Because I checked into it to find out that I can find a flight to Charlotte, but it's just where's the best spot to stay?
Asheville, North Carolina. Asheville. And the class is May 19, starting at 7 p.m. So get there before that, obviously. You can go to our website and get a lot of this information. Dr. Rick has created a way to get all that on. I believe Maggie's here right now, but masterysystems.com. It's right on the front. You can go there and find the information.
Okay. There's one about where exactly as far as like a place to stay and things like that. That was a sort of
thing. All there. It's all there.
Thank you.
Yep. And it's Asheville, North Carolina. I remember people saying I live in Nashville, and they heard Nashville, Tennessee. This is Asheville, near. And Asheville is the airport is Asheville, or Spartanburg is close to. So, by the way, David's back. Just real quick, we're not going to share anymore. But what happened, brother? Where'd you go?
I remember to plug my phone in.
That's all. Well, we loved your stories, by the way, but that was funny. He was like, I'm out of here. Yep. We figured Scott goes, I think his mom just called. So
and Elman, it's going to be at the Hampton Inn, Hendersonville on Sugarloaf Road. If you would like to pinpoint that on a hotels.com map or something, and you can find additional lodging, they're going to have a special for us of $199 that weekend.
And there's places around for 116, right, Dr. Ray?
Yep.
Within walking distance. So.
And how much is your fully expressed self in the world and all of your childhood dreams being activated worth?
Yeah.
May I have permission to ask a question?
Please.
Mr. Robert, as an avid reader, I know you published a few works, and I want to further, of course, educate myself upon this manifestation. Is there a chronology of your books that would be best to read in order?
I would do them together. Conscious Language and My Word Made Flesh. Conscious Language is an operating system. So the training, My Word, or All For You, is how to start the whole thing. So when somebody signs up, they get Living the Path of Conscious Language, The Power of Imagination Activation, and Outcome Mapping videos. They get an entire All For You recorded class so they can get used to whatever's going to happen. And there's also the foundation, I believe, is in there.
Would it be best to get to your website?
And you get all that ASAP.
Okay.
Yeah, and then that book right there, My Word Made Flesh, and also Conscious Language, The Logos of Now, those two. I mean, literally, it's nuts and bolts how it works. The that one there, that My Word Made Flesh is, if your body's talking, you can look it up and you can ask yourself the question and get a decree right from the book.
It's true. This is Travis. I had you buy his conscious language book, and this is the next one. Everyone here should get this thing. You can literally, when you start thinking about something that you're up to in your life, and you do like this, you can look on the page that has the picture of the face, and you can the whole body, and every body, every tooth, every spine. It's all mapped out on what it means consciously, and it'll tell you what questions to ask yourself, what decrees to make. I'm forgiving my mother. You just saw David. We call it facilitate. Facilitate means to make easy. We just saw David facilitate himself into alignment like that. My brother Tom the other day witnessed me in a matter of 3 minutes go into from apathy and unforgiveness into forgiving. Maybe that was my father, maybe it was my son, maybe it was maybe it was me about my son. 5 or 6 different things he witnessed, but it's boom, 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 and it can come through your eyes, it can come through your body, it can come through just your thought processes and words, and all of that is in here, dude. So definitely you get this book like yesterday. And there's the Holy Bible. This is for me. There's the Bible, and then there's this book as far as manifesting who you are in whatever your divine plan is that's being manifest in this world.
I'm appreciative. Thank you.
Yeah, brother.
And again, Travis, thank you for, it took courage. Yes or no, kids? How many were like, leave him alone, man. Don't ask him any more questions. I mean, how many casually going, yeah, I did, man. And yet here he's blossoming. I mean, I'd love to do live cell analysis, or can you, Dr. Tammy, real quick, can you talk about heart rate variability?
Before you go there, before you do that, you're getting a question from Roxanne. Is the event 20th and 21st? Or she's saying,
yeah, I'll do it 7 to 10 the 19th, and then 9 to 5 and 9 to 4 the next 2 days.
and she said, are you doing eye readings as well?
Oh, we take an eye photos, and then they're all done. We record them through Zoom. So the initial thing is you have to get your eye photos taken. We will have our camera there, and Dr. Richard Allen Esmond Jr. wave. Dr. Richard Allen Esmond Jr. is he's good at it. He's awesome. He's fairly new at it, but he's mastered it. Thank you, God. And you can sign up and get that done.
We're doing something new as well, before and after, for people who choose before and after pictures of your face, so you can actually see your whole face, not just your eye. Oleg Volk is doing this for the first time. So before the event and after the event, so you can look at before and after to see actual physical transformations of your face.
And your countenance and your change. And I mean, oh my gosh. I was asking Dr. Tammy something. I just remember what it was. Go ahead, Dr. Tammy, answer it if you remember what I was talking about.
I do remember what you asked. You asked me to talk about
Oh, you muted yourself again. Hold on.
heart rate variability. You asked me
Yeah.
heart
Thank
rate variability. So heart rate variability is the length of time between heartbeats. It's different than heart rate. Heart rate variability is my favorite hobby, and I wear a device on my hand to measure my heart rate variability. In a BE, I was measuring my heart rate variability as evidence to what the BE would do to my body.
And that BE stands for body electronics, everyone, a
Right,
form of
it stands for
sustained
body
acupressure.
electronics.
Go ahead, dear. You're good.
And I came to the event with a heart rate variability of about 17, which I did identify as average for my age, which Bob took great joy in delighting in. The first night that I measured my heart rate variability all night after an endocrine session, which is one of the events that you do in a body electronics, my heart rate variability was 95, which is a considerable jump, and the age of someone much younger than me. So heart rate variability is medical evidence as to what these technologies do to your body and to your anti-aging.
Well, how about youthing?
Well, youthing, yes, anti-aging, youthing. Yeah.
And by the way, I invite everyone, as you youth, to remain just post-pubescent for obvious reasons.
Bob looks, I worked with Bob 25 years ago. He looks younger than he did 25 years ago. That's a true story. And Rick, you're back in Bob's fold. True story. Ricky's
What's
on.
your question?
My question is so my experience is Bob looks the same as he did or younger 25 years ago.
Yeah.
I look at him like, good Lord, man, what's going on? He's like, what are you doing? He's like, well, you got this. I'm like, okay, hold on, man, and write it down.
Thank you, Dr. Tammy. And by the way, I am eternal youth and beauty is a great decree. I am eternal youth and beauty. I am eternal youth and beauty. I am eternal youth and beauty. I am eternal, and feel the meaning in each word deeply enough. And David's over there going, I'll make that choice right now. I make that choice. That's the right choice. Anyway, go ahead, Scott, rock and roll.
I was over here eternally youthing my beauty. I'm muted. I'm like, oh yeah, I am. So decrees are magical. We're an hour and a half in. I feel gloriously complete with our evening. Unless anyone else has anything to share or say or ask, we can find a wonderful conclusion for the evening. Tuesday night, we're coming here again to do whatever version of our sharing time together and continuing to invite new people into the fold, get the book, get the basics, join us in a Zoom meeting. A lot is developing. We're also an open request for people who have been in the conversation of awesome, or more like in conscious languaging and masterful facilitation and blossoming who we are, who've been in the conversation for longest. What wisdom can you share? And email, make contact with me, make contact with someone from our website to say, I've got some ideas. If you've got some ideas for how to change anything, we'd love to hear it. Ultimately, what did you like tonight? What could we do better for next time? We're going to start having a minimum of one of these or two of these a week, and we're refining and crystallizing. What do we say? How do we say it? How do we present an intro level welcoming into our world? And we're figuring that out. And you've been in the dance for a while, so together everyone achieves more. So we're very openly receptive to new ideas, new inspirations, and new guidance from existing family members to bring more people into the fold. And with that, Robert, how about you give us a prayer to go into our evenings?
Well, first of all, I thank you, Scott. You rocked my world tonight. I mean, I'm sitting there going, yep. And what I love is Scott has already integrated his conscious language, heart language in everything he does. So I can listen with grace and ease because it's clean and pure. Thank you. And your enthusiasm is tangible for me. It's going to help us. It already is. It's our victory. So I'm a couple of things I ask everyone. First, if you got a yes to be with us or anything you got a yes for, immediately take action. Scripture says faith, that means instruction in heart, feeling, without works is death. How many of you had a dream and full of faith and you didn't act? That becomes the death of the pattern. So where I'm at now in my life is the minute I get a yes, do it. Take action. I'm not just write it down on a list, call somebody, send something, take an action, get up, move.
Click the link in the chat box and sign up for May 19 to 21 and come have some fun.
Yep. And again, you got a team. You can tell who's here. How many people are voting victory? Everybody here. I mean, a lot. And we had 150 some sign up for tonight. So the 40 that were on originally, 40 some, it's also on Facebook right now. Jump in if you choose to come and be in our particular, this group we're going to do, jump in, sign up now. And, get your lodging and all that stuff. As soon as you sign up, just point of reference, you're going to get a bunch of stuff that will prepare the soil for you to eat. I mean, we're going to do it anyway. Somebody can just sign up and come the next day. Yeah. How many love to have the linguistic understanding of what's going on? I do. I mean, I really love to know, what's that word you're saying? I choose. Do you have, is that how you ooze your chi in a particular direction? Yep. Okay. So that's that. So let's do it. First of all, the best prayer I've ever found is I am my own permanent victory in the light. And when I'm speaking to somebody silently, so you're not too weird, I am decreeing their permanent victory in the light. If you choose to resurrect all of your relationships, vote victory, permanent victory of light. You can do it silently, and your whole world will melt from the old pattern into the new pattern. That's that. So I invite everyone to just do this imagination is now that I'm thriving personally, what's new and different for me is, and then as soon as we close tonight, which is in seconds, write down what's new and different for you now that now that you are in fact thriving personally. Period.
Amen.